Thanks for watching Fox Cruise Info. Now this is my personal packing checklist of things that I bring. The only thing I'm really not going to go into is clothing, because I think that kind of depends on your location and where you're headed, and I think most people know what clothes that they need to pack. But we will definitely be talking about first aid. That is the first thing that I'm going to go into, as well as travel documents, and at the end some really important extra tips and things that I do not leave home without. The first two things I pack are my two first aid kits. One goes in luggage and one goes in my carry-on. The carry-on one, I definitely put my prescription medication and the seasick medication. If they lose my luggage, I don't want them to lose that. And then in my luggage, the first aid kit, I could put like the ginger or vitamins, things like that I can probably survive without and might not need. The Pedialyte packets I'll put in my luggage because I like to just have that for an emergency. The Tylenol and the Advil, I usually just save those travel tubes and I will just refill them and I'll keep that on my carry-on. I do bring quite a few over-the-counter stomach upset medications, and I just do want to point out, if you do take any other medications that you might not take normally on the cruise, make sure they don't interact with any medications you're on. If you are traveling with children, you might want to bring some kids' pain medication. I also pack some hydrocortisone or Benadryl, an anti-itch cream, in case someone gets a cut or a scrape. Neosporin is great to have. And just in case someone gets sick, cold and cough medication comes in handy. Now, I definitely fill my luggage up with these Wet One antibacterial wipes. And don't forget to bring the cute character Band-Aids. When it comes to the personal care items, I like to have my own separate travel bag for this. I like this one because it opens, it has a hook inside. You can hook it in the bathroom and all of your stuff is easily reachable. There's not always tons of counter space sometimes in little spaces or small bathrooms. I think my list is pretty similar to what most people would bring. Toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, Q-tips, definitely sunblock, razors, shaving cream. There was two things I did actually forget to put pictures in. I always bring baby wipes and a bottle of Lysol. And I always bring my water pick, which maybe most people don't, a bottle of Listerine, and then miscellaneous items like lotions, perfumes, makeup, and hairbrush. Next is travel documents. Now this is definitely the most important part, because without travel documents you will not be traveling and you will not need anything else in this video. So I keep a separate zip-up pouch with all this information in it. If you can make a photocopy of any of this, I always keep two, one in my luggage and one in my carry-on, because you never know when your phone or whatever digital device you have is not going to work, and then you do not want to run into any type of situation then. You will need to bring with you any shipboarding documents. If you have a port arrival QR code, you will also need a passport, driver's license, or any required citizenship documents. You will need copies of your vaccination cards, and if you are flying, you're going to need all your flight information. Don't forget your boarding passes, and if before or after you're going to Disney World, don't forget, or a hotel, don't forget to bring those reservations, park tickets, or magic bands. Now this is a list of the extra things that I bring. Now you don't need to bring these, but I don't leave home without them. The first thing is water bottles. I always bring some type of reusable bottle so that you can go to the drink stations, the water fountains, and I can keep everything in the refrigerator in my room. And I also bring dishwashing soap with that so that I can clean the bottles every day. I never leave home without my Ziploc containers or my bags, because in case you want to bring something to one of the movies on board or just back to the room, it's a great way to put things in. I always bring my multi-port USB charger, because everyone seems to have a device that the battery is almost dead. And I love to have my plastic straws. Cannot deal with the paper ones. I also bring a small travel umbrella, because you never know, the weather might not be sunny and great the entire cruise. I like to bring a small air freshener spray, tiny spaces, that's all I can say about that. I like to bring an old gift card to put in where the light is instead of using my Key to the World card. Now, if this is not your first cruise, they will provide you with lanyards in your room. I personally just prefer on my own lanyard. It's got all kinds of things to hook my antibacterial, and I bring it all with me on every trip. You could also bring C-bands if that's something that works for you. I like to bring a beach bag for the day that they go to Castaway Cay. Definitely like a trash bag to put your old dirty clothes. If you want to do any of the pirate night, or your kids want to do bibbidi bobbidi boo, I definitely would bring costumes. If you are traveling with children, I wrote toys. So you might want to pack some sand toys prior, especially if you're going to Castaway Cay. What I like to do is go shopping before and buy a few toys, maybe some sand toys, maybe some Disney toys, and wrap them up in wrapping paper, and along the cruise, just leave them in the room like little surprises. It comes in handy, especially if, say, there's something really expensive they wanted on board the ship, or something that was just overpriced that you didn't want to purchase, and they won't be totally bummed when they get back to the room and see a really nice Disney gift waiting for them. Now, if you are wondering what you cannot bring on the ship, we're going to start out with the short list of prohibited items not to bring. And then I will give you directions on how to go to Disney Cruise Line's website and find the very long, extensive list of all the things that you cannot bring. So it starts out, if you go under their first section, it talks about firearms, ammunition, knives, swords, daggers. And if you do bring any of those things, there will be severe legal penalties. It says to not bring on any homemade, pre-cooked, or perishable items. Also brings out not to bring any irons, bottle warmers, candles, things that have more of a likelihood that they could catch on fire. Now, if you are interested at looking at this list, there is a longer list. You just have to go onto Disney Cruise Line's website, click on Already Booked, scroll down to the packing checklist, and then you can see the destinations. Now, I did click on pretty much all the destinations, and it looks like the prohibited items are all the same. Just go under where it says Prohibited Items, Frequently Asked Questions, and then tap on that, and the full list in detail of everything they do not want you to bring aboard the ship is there. Now, that is my list of things that I like to bring. Sometimes I like to be overpacked and a little overprepared, only because, like, on our past 2 trips, someone has always gotten sick. So yes, my first aid kit may be a little bit extensive, but especially when you're on a cruise, if there's something that I want, I just want to make sure that I have it. I don't want to have to worry about getting it at that point. So if there's something that I did not list here that you think is really important that you should definitely bring, please let me know below, and I will definitely make sure that I pack it on my next trip. Please like and subscribe below so that you can be notified when my next video comes out. I am working on a full information tutorial of everything that Castaway Cay has to offer.